My name is Theresa. I am going to be 103 years old. The most important thing is my faith in God. He is my big helper. My best lesson? Appreciate what I have in this beautiful world of mine, but you've got to have a lot of faith and willing to work hard, which I have. I'd say Virginia Beach, well, because the weather is nice and I'm with my family, my daughter and her husband and her children. And when my husband was living, he was able to be with us. And we would have a lot of fun. Sometimes the weather was nice and we were able to enjoy it. Well, I have two wonderful parents. They both immigrated from Italy. My dad was only 15, and he came to this country, learned how to read and write English, and he did very well because he loved to read the newspaper. And Mom came from Italy, and she was only 17, came with two other cousins, and they settled in Utica. And that's where Mom met my dad. And they got married, had two boys there, Nicholas, my oldest brother, and Anthony. And then they came to Endicott because Endicott Shoe was opening up and they needed workers. So Dad worked in the one department, and later on when, I think my sister was only about a year old, Mom went to work because she'd had the four boys, and life wasn't very easy at that time. So Mom and Dad both worked in EJ, and eventually Mr. Johnson offered the workers a home, which wasn't very expensive, and Mom and Dad bought one, and we lived very comfortably. And when I was about 5 and my sister was about a year old, my uncle and aunt from New York came to visit us one summer, which they generally did. And they decided I should go to New York with them and have a little vacation from the family. Well, I liked being there so much because I was like an only child and went to school there and had a very nice life. But then when I was 10, I decided I wanted to go back to my mom and dad and my brothers and my youngest sister. I was about 10 then. So there I was until I grew up there, went to school, and met my husband, Victor, who was a wonderful man, and we got married. And we lived comfortably, we worked hard, because life wasn't easy then. Money was scarce, but we loved each other, and I finally had my first child a beautiful little girl, and I called her Vicky Lynn. I decided I was going to become a hairdresser and be a stay-home mom and yet work as a hairdresser and earn some money, which I did. And I worked for 22 years as a hairdresser. And I loved it. I met the most wonderful people. Susie Bella, you were beautiful.